You know anything about cars? I'm sure you know anything about cars. You know something about cars in Ohio weather or wherever this truck was from. Get it right out. This one, however, has been pretty good to me. We don't have this passenger door. I had to look to make sure. This one's real solid down here. There's no rot. There's a little bit of surface rust right here. There's one pinhole on the front side here I'm going to grind out and probably just tack weld in and fill, and hopefully it won't run on me and get bigger, and we can just fill it and grind it off and be done with it. Maybe a little filler. Down here, we're just going to wire wheel this, get all this rubber glue off of there, clean it up, standard smooth, get them primed up and get them on the truck. There is one dent on the outside I gotta finish, and there's a couple screw holes where somebody mounted something. They also, looks like they yanked on the handle. Maybe they pry it loose, didn't have one of the screws out and bent the door. I'm gonna tap that in. We'll get this panel off. The tracks work really well. I'm gonna tear them apart and lube everything in the door. I am gonna take the wing window out and take the glass out. Of course, this out and this out, and that panel off. Just so when I paint it and prime it, there's no green left on it. But let me keep going on this door. You'll see me jump around to the other side. We'll get them on there and go from there, gang. Those following along? Yes, they're still doing construction out front. No, I don't have any internet at the shop yet. It's ODOT for you. 4 guys standing around doing the shovel dance. 1 guy down in the hole working. You know, you've seen it. Orange cones everywhere. They're cones! Ooh-wee, look at that. Like I said, you can see a few things here we're going to work out. I don't know what that is. Even somebody bolted a strap to it maybe at one time. Put her in a pile. Little etched in emblem on the glass. You don't see that on cars anymore, do you? Pretty simple. 2 screws here that hold the front track in. There's 1 screw going through here that holds the rear track in for this glass that's sitting in there. You get 3 screws that hold this latch, 3 that hold this. Looks like 4 that hold the window regulator, and 1 screw here that holds the rod for that. There's probably, yep, a screw up here, here, and here just to hold the tracking for the wing window. We're gonna take all that out. Let's get a box for our screws. Rob sent me some parts in. Don't have one of these and you're working on oldie stuff, get you one. It's called an impact driver. You can turn it directions just by twisting it like that. And what it does is you put it on the screw, a screw that's been painted on. You turn it till you're tight. And this one, of course, is going to come right loose. But if you get one that's stuck, you take a hammer, you hold a little pressure on this like this, and you whack it, and it's gear driven inside. It twists, and it will apply pressure to a screw and break it loose. Usually the shock And then the impact, it's called an impact driver. Voila. Nice. I don't mind when they come right out. Get in there and get that one. These are coming right out, which is very rare on a 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, whatever Johnny Cash sang about. Get over there and get some better leverage on this thing. Then it ought to help. Regulator assembly, nothing to them. Two pieces on this one, the base, well, three pieces, the base and the gear and the track. There's your door mechanism. Look how tiny that is. Look at that tiny spring up there showing up on the camera. That's what keeps your door closed. Okay. Nothing to it. This is part of the down position window track. So when your window goes down inside the door, here the snap clips releasing. This has a rotted through spot. So you can see where it's obviously been rubbing. That must be a stress point on it. So that's gonna have to be replaced anyway. We were hoping to save it, because honestly, it looked like it was in pretty good shape. There's your bottom door felt. There is no felt left on it. It is just a rusty piece of metal. The felt has left the chat, as y'all would say. How much left of that one? To be honest, guys, I never took a Ford door apart, so I don't know. I am just winging it. Winging it, get it, winging it. That's called a wing window in case you're born in the 2000s or so. Why don't you get your wing window out? You know, they hit a screw under the rubber track. You're making me look bad in front of my friends. We got her. Wait till we paint it and try and get it back together. That's gonna be fun. She's in good shape. She is dirty. We're gonna buff her and clean her and do everything else we need to. But for now, throw her in with all them metal parts. What could happen? All right. Guts are out. I have a door handle on the outside. I'm gonna peel off here. These hinges are welded to this door. They do make a hinge pin remover tool. I don't have one. I think these will buff up and polish up rather nicely. They're not pitted at all. And there's more Bondo nubbies. Looks like at one time, this thing had industrial mirrors on it, or big mirrors mounted to the door. And prior to whoever did all the crash work, you can see the nubbies in there. See them little white things sticking up? That's 70s Bondo. Sorry about the shadow, but you see it. And then these three nubbies are just the emblem tits that are still, oops, I'm not allowed to say tits, but I said tits. Sticking up that hold the emblem on. We'll pop that out when we flip it over. There's a dent, like I told you right there. The camera can pick it up pretty well. We're gonna work that out. But all in all, gang, you can see this door's in really, really good shape. A little bit of surface rust. All right, here we are, still at the end of August. Still working on the Econoline doors. I have a dent to work out there, a little ding here I'm gonna work on. Hold up. Other than that, I think I'm just gonna scuff sand it, put it in some epoxy primer, and get her ready. We'll flip it over, get the other side done first. Let's under here and get all this rust off. She does have a stress crack right here at the top, right by where the wing window support went in. I imagine over the years people use the top of the door to get in these things, and square mask? No, Dad, I won't. I do normally, but I'm out. Guys, I don't know where you're from, but around here in Ohio, we just don't see doors that are this old, this clean. If you've noticed a trend, junkyards like D&H Classics and all them guys, they are snarfing up all these Southwest trucks and cars and just anything automotive that's older like this. They're going around to all these southern states and Oklahoma and Texas and Arizona and everything, and they are grabbing up this old iron because they understand that up north here we need it. And I'll tell you what, that's a good example why. This is obviously an Oklahoma truck or, you know, a southern truck. And look at that door. There's absolutely no rust. The only rust there was is where somebody repaired a dent right here and filled it with Bondo. And of course, over the years, the Bondo popped out and water got on it. Well, finished sanded that with some 220 and went around and gave it a good heavy coat of primer. He did miss me fixing that crack right there in the front corner, but he didn't miss anything else really. All right, we're gonna let this epoxy set up. It's about 75 degrees this morning out, so won't take long. All right. Second verse gonna be the same as the first. You can see me get mad at this window too and yell at it. A couple holes here. Maybe a strap or something went here. I don't know. Does it limit the door? And then this, believe it or not, looks like almost a CB mic was mounted there, or maybe another post strap. I don't know, but We're gonna dolly them holes, weld them in, weld these two in, grind them smooth. It's pulled up a little bit, so I'll do some body work there. Otherwise, I'll just come back when this one's all in primer and stuff. It's nothing exciting that y'all are gonna miss. Your days will continue. I promise. I'll be right back. There y'all can see where that bottom corner kind of got pulled out. See, that's how it should look. A nice, freshly stamped and spot welded corner. I'm not really sure what happened there. There's no dent on this side unless it's filled in with mud and I don't feel the body work, which could always be. There's a little bump inside there like it might be Bondo. So we'll get in there and see. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the details. I just wanted to show you that up close. So, it appears, we have a mystery to solve. All right, Raggy. I know, terrible Scooby and Shaggy impression, I get it. But, the funky thing is, this is bent up right here. And that would explain why this got pulled up. There is no Bondo or anything in there, it's bare metal. And there's no rot right there. The funny thing is, this right here is not caved in. And when this door was on the truck, this door lined up and closed perfectly as far as the outside goes. Now, of course, I didn't look in here. But this seam is right where the rubber goes, so we can't have that up like that. I am going to get my torches out, heat this compound corner right here, tap this down back into place, which will in turn give me room to pull these two lips back and pinch them together where they need to be. As you can see, there. Better angle, you can see how high up that is and how much this guy here, come on finger, where it goes uphill there where it shouldn't and then goes back down flat there. So we're gonna tap this corner down and then get into this right here. All right, I just wanted to explain that corner that I got into a little bit before. All right, I did heat this up, tap it down and give it some time to cool. Pretty flat now all the way around there. It did bring this back down some. I'm going to dolly this out. Alright, that worked out better than I thought it was gonna. I don't need any filler or anything. I don't have to re-weld anything. There's still a drain hole here, so if water does get in there inside the window track, it'll run down and run out. And you may have to put a skim coat on the outside, but I don't think so. It feels pretty good. We'll see how straight it is. It does feel like it curves down a little bit right here. Like a curved reverse arch. Once I get it actually on the truck and see. Yeah, I can feel it. It's got a spot right here. And this may be pushed up because this is now pushed down. We may have to work that out some once we get it on the truck. But all in all, that's a win. Probably don't look too great on camera, but that is very, very nice. Look at there, will you? Got lucky on the passenger side door. Not so lucky on the driver's side door. Water has gotten up under all this skim coat of Bondo somebody put on here. And what's really nice is this Bondo is over the factory paint. Great job, guys, whoever did it. Otherwise, the store's pretty solid. One more couple spots up here, and you could tell it's a 70s body job by the Breeze. Nobody does that anymore. And of course, they bondoed around where the mirror was and filled them holes in. We're going to pop that Econoline emblem off there. The other one was broken. This one looks decent. But we're going to fix that. And look, there's another stress crack right there. We're going to weld that one up. We'll try to remember to video it. Now you guys know these hinges are notorious for being paint chippers. So there's no way around it. It's poor design. It is what it is. That chip them, no matter if I take them apart or not, which I'll pop that pin out and wire wheel everything down, primer it up, they're still going to chip no matter what you do to them. Metal on metal. Doesn't like paint. Anyway, let's get back to this driver's side door and get her on there. Oh, you can see my wood. I am going to have a upcoming office project going on. I want to make a little waiting room up there since I am going to start doing auto repair on a daily basis for O'Reilly's here in town. Yeah, so there's that. Just wanted to explain the mess in the background. Not like there ain't always a mess in the background anyway, right? Ooh-wee. Remember that tiny little spot of breeze? Look at the size that they filled in with that. That has got to be a pretty close to a 1/2-inch hole right there, guys. And remember the Bondo over the mirror? Well, looky there. And a dent there, a 3rd hole. I also have to drill some of that Bondo out and get in there with a wire wheel. But the emblem came off in one piece. That's one good note. We have one good emblem. There's that crack. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There's a crack right there. I'm going to MIG weld in and grind down. Otherwise, we're going to keep grinding out this Bondo here. It doesn't look like they skim coated the whole door, just this corner. I'm going to take that down. The rest of the door looks pretty straight. Got some patina there from hand jobs and whatever hand jobs. Not that kind of hand job, Dan. Settle down. Anyway, there you go. Now you see it. I'll be back with some finished body work and some primer. Alright, gang, y'all seen this door and how bad a shape it was in. Got a big dent there and some mud. There's still a little mud in there, but there's a ding there and there. Had some rust popping out there. And those are the emblem screws there where the Econoline goes. We're going to leave those. But we're going to fill all these with metal. And door handles popped a little bit. Now, if this was a Toledo car, that'd be completely popped out with a screwdriver. The big problem we have is this door the hinges are sprung. It will not stay relaxed in that position. There's a lot of tension. It takes a lot to get it closed. As far as gaps, I'm slightly low on this corner. And we are slightly in right here. The bottom is pretty much lined up, but this corner needs to come up some. And the top needs to come out some. The big problem we have is at one point in its life, this door was open too far, and that hinge right there caught itself, and you can kind of see how it's folded back against the body of the truck right there. That should not be. The bottom's not as bad, but this top is. So I suspect that this top hinge right there, you can see where it's hitting the body, needs to be pulled towards the rear of the vehicle, right in here. We're going to have to heat that up right in here. And while it's hot, we'll pry this hinge backwards. Now that in turn is going to lower our door some more. So we will have to do the same thing down here just to get that back. You cannot adjust for up and down on these hinges. You can slightly, but not much. You can slide them in this way towards the dash or out that way towards the outside of the vehicle. But that's all you got. And all that cures is our top where we're in right here. That'll bring this spot out some if we slide this top hinge out. But then in turn, that will take this bottom corner in. And then we won't line up. Right now, we line up really flush on this edge all the way down if it's closed. The same with the wheel well. We're lined up flush. We're just under tension, and it won't stay closed. Let me go around to the other side. Now you can see I haven't primed this one yet, so I have a little bit of finished body work to do on it. But it's still warm enough out that I can seal it and do the body work. You can see this one slightly in again, so we'll bring this hinge right here out, loosen it up. But the bottom on this one's really tight. We're straight there, we're straight here, but we are in here. So hopefully when we bring that out, it doesn't bring the bottom here in too much. And we will keep our seam pretty flush. The doors don't look like they've been beat too bad. Like I said, that driver's hinge is a little wonky, but we'll get it. We are going to fill the antenna holes. Somebody did a halfway fill there. Those are the Econoline holes. They'll stay. Nobody drilled this side for a mirror though, so that's cool. Yeah, so door handles look good. All right, I'm going to stay on these doors. We'll get this body worked and metal worked and everything we need to do there. I will heat up them hinges and pry a little bit on them. I'll try and cover that, but it's not very entertaining. About as entertaining as me talking. It's funny how thick that metal is, but how little it took to bend that back straight. Rob, I would not advise you swinging on these doors. There you go. She's not under stress anymore. Right, all right. We're going to start winging it and dinging it. Well, the dinging part's done, as you can see. Here's where the old mirrors were mounted on the driver's side door. Focus, focus. There you go. We're going to just weld a washer in there and then fill it in. We'll hold it up in behind there. Same with that one there. I'll round it out to a circle and get a washer in behind it. There is that stress crack like was on the other side. As you can see, there's a support in there. The wing window is up there. And you have this long run where the side glass is and no support. So, of course, it's got to give somewhere. And that's where she gives. We're going to use a cutoff wheel and cut that out to about an 1/8 inch crack, maybe. And just fill it in with weld. Make it a little solid. Cool it slow so it doesn't temper. There's a small ding there we got to work out. And then feathered the Bondo out on it. A little bit of filler, not much. You can see we've got a little bit of work to do around the door handles. That paint is thick. THICCCCC thick. Alright, that door looks good though, don't it? Yeah, baby. Alright, as you can see, leaf springs are ready to go. It's and going on third week in August right now, so I'm going to send them out so I get them back in September early. It takes about 2 weeks for them to turn them around. They do all kinds of magnafluxing on them and make sure there's no cracks or anything. I'm sure, being original, they usually crack around them center bolts, but we'll see. These, we're going with a V8, so they're going to have to do some customizing to them. But yeah, we'll get them done, and here you go. We'll get them back, and they'll be all pretty black with new bushings and pins and everything in them, and they'll reuse what they can. I asked them to reuse what they could to save Rob some money, but we'll see how it goes. No, that's not blood right there. That's red paint. All right, let's get back on this jewel here. Well, you missed it. Welded the washer in there from behind with a screwdriver, and I welded that crack and welded that pinhole. I'm going to grind this out here, the metal bit, and make that round and put a plug in from behind and do the same thing. Sorry I didn't hit record on the camera, guys. Make sure we ain't going through the inside door. Maybe we'll use that as a finger hole to close the door. Ready? There you go. All we're doing is holding this up against that metal. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not, but we're going to tack her in place, go around, let her cool, do some finish welds. End up filling in with a little body work. Turn your gas on, might get a prettier weld. There you can see she's still glowing a little red. Pretty much filled in flush. We're going to take a flappy disc, grind that down, and our washers there, and I'll be back. You don't need to see me grind. It's just useless grinding. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. There's that top one. She's filled in pretty nice. There's a little divot right there in the center. We're just going to mud it up. It's not all the way through. It's just a low spot in my weld. Just like that. You can see close there. There's a little bit of low spot in my weld. We'll wire wheel that out. Now here, there's a good shot of something I just uncovered. When I was wire wheeling, or when I was using a flappy disc and cleaning this up, cleaning that weld, and our crack's gone. There's a little spot there. We could sit there and weld that and grind it and weld it and grind it. I'm not gonna. It's back together. But if you look right here, where's my finger right there? There's a crack starting there. So those dents, that one there I've uncovered, is another hole. What I thought was just a dent, I felt on the back side and I didn't feel anything through there, but obviously it's hidden and I didn't get right to it. I was feeling something else problems. Anyway, we're going to drill that one out and do the same thing, and I'll come back, slap some mud on there, Duraglass, so it's waterproof, and finish body work it, and this door will be primed today. Now, before y'all get goofy on me, oh my god, it's a Bondo hack, what a Bondo buggy, blah blah blah. That's how much Bondo I'm going to mix up for everything we just welded in on that top of that door. 80% of that will end up on the garage floor as powder. Not the kind you snort, so get off it, you dope heads. Whoa. Whoa, I say, whoa, look at that. Alright. Few little spots still need a little finish body work. Not many. There's a little scratch here. A little chip there that we're going to fill with some spot putty, but look at that. Yeah, baby. She's looking good. Other door, same way, straight down there. Looks good up around the edges, and the chips are on the door handle. There is some emblem goes here, and there's a low spot right there. We're gonna spot putty. Same with that one. Otherwise, she is golden, baby, golden. All right, we're gonna push her to the side. I got a couple things to do. I'm thinking about doing some automotive work on a daily basis. So we're going to lay out a plan to redesign the office up front. Anyway, there's the doors. They're on. They're done. I'm going to end this video here. Next up, we're going to tackle that tailgate.